28 teams, 14 from Europe, 14 from North America, all trying to find their way, all testing themselves as they look to see can they prove that they're worthy on the road to Erdence, trying to compete for that chance, of course, to play in the Sparkassen and Finn arena. It's truly epic. There's over $1 million on the line if they can make it to that arena, but until that point, it's all about the online play. This is the European side of Pro League. Today, I'm joined once again by Alex Playful. Buddy,
hello.
How you doing? It's the last day.
Yeah, it is. Last day, but only got one game today as well, so hopefully we go out of the bank.
Yeah, certainly, again, looking to be another epic one, but we'll get into that in just a moment's notice. Up first, I do just kind of want your initial feelings of the week.
Okay.
You know, how has it been? Has it been good?
About the games or just me as a person?
Just in general, as you as a person, buddy.
It's been, hotel rooms are long and pretty boring, to be honest, especially when you have bad internet. Won't go there. Talk about the games. The game's been good. Surprises from me were LDLC beating MVS 2-0. Big win for LDLC, and hopefully, don't want to spoil things too much, but hopefully they can carry that forward tonight.
Yeah, well, we certainly are going to find out. Of course, let's take a look at the table, see exactly where these 14 teams from Europe do stand off up against each other. Fnatic, 11-1, very impressive.
Obviously, we casted Fnatic yesterday, beating our Heroic 2-0, so they are sitting nicely at the top there, 11-1. North, 9-3. They were 8-2 going into the game yesterday, but obviously had that 1-1 versus Godsent, where it seems like the addition of Freddie Bianco has really stepped up the roster. Towards the bottom of the table, still Mouse Sports 1-6, and Na'Vi at 3-7. So, look at the top and bottom of the table. Obviously, top 6 will go to LAN. Hellraise is actually, wow, 5-8. That's a really big curveball. I didn't expect that. Obviously, me and Jack were casting the Star Pro League, and Hellraise has looked, to be blunt, fairly lost.
Yeah, a bit shaky for them, but nonetheless a good way to get up there in the middle of the pack. Of course, we talked about just how important standings are. The bottom two, they're competing for relegation, potentially losing their chance in the Pro League for next season even. But standings out of the way, let's take a look at the schedule for tonight. What madness is going to ensue? Of course, the mainstream already taking Godsent versus Fnatic, then NIP versus FaZe. LDLC Big is the game that we've got. Yeah,
I'm quite jealous of those mainstream games. But then again, obviously, Big versus LDLC seems like, God, the last time I saw these teams play was Copenhagen Games, and I was standing behind LDLC, and they're playing on Overpass. I believe actually Overpass is coming up as well tonight, so hopefully a rematch there. Big won that game, but that was months and months ago. That was what? When was Copenhagen Games? March,
April.
I believe? April, there you go. That was a long time ago, and obviously Big has come a long way since then.
They did play almost a month later in the Farmskins Championship, but that was another...
Yeah, I remember actually, because Big lost out to Singularity. Obviously, Singularity went on to win the event. It was all the big Cinderella story, but I remember it was like a week after Big had the big shock loss to Singularity. They were really down. 1 week later, they qualified for Pro League. Hello, that's why they're here now. And then the week after that, or 2 weeks after that, something like that, they qualified for the Major, and then top 8, and it was just crazy. So the upwards trend so far for Big has been catastrophic.
Just doubling back to Copenhagen Games real quick, what was the atmosphere like for you there? Of course, watching those games, watching those teams. I am kind of curious on your perspective as a player at the time. What was it like? I
was surprised at actually how calm LDLC were. And also, it was actually really nice watching Existence Cool. Obviously, that's one of the things you want to know about. It's like, what is the old veteran deemed as the best IGL for the early portions of CSGO? How does he cool? And it seems like he's someone that leads by example. I remember actually watching, they were practicing, and they were practicing smokes and grenades, and it was literally all 4 players just tunnel visioned on exactly what Existence was saying. They were listening to him to a T. And also what was interesting as well is he's the player as the IGL that really hypes up his team. He's the one that gives the passionate chats, and the passionate chats are really awful.
The true definition of a captain. He leads
exactly.
by example.
Passionate speeches, right? He's the one where we might be down now, but we can come back into this one. We've still got this one, boys, blah, 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 blah. And he's someone who you really want to play under as a player. So definitely big respect to him.
Certainly exemplifying.
Big Kev, as we call him in England.
Big Kev. But yeah, as I was saying, certainly.
Actually, I scrimmed. First time I played LDLC was an Overpass, and I was AWPing A long. I was holding along toilets, and Big Kev came around the long corner, one-tapped me before I could even scope in, killed me instantly. I was like, oh, Big Kev, and that was it. Round was over.
Just Big Kev doing big Kev things. Talking about the game though, odds are on your screen: 1.61 for Big, 2.15 for LDLC.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think those are fair odds from Betway. Obviously, Big, the front runners right now, I think they're like 4th or 5th so far in Pro League. They've been doing very, very well so far. And of course, top 8 of the Major. And so far, really strong performance. And it seems like Big are definitely in form. And for LDLC, yes, they're 2-0 versus Envious. I believe it was last night, the night before. Oh yeah, it was. It was
close as well. Yeah. 25 to 22.
And I think that 2-0 might actually like sway the odds a little bit. So if you want to put money on Big, definitely a good bet.
Just kind of talking about the result, though, beating a team like Envy, that I do think that holds a lot of merit, considering not just the name of Envy, but some of those players on that roster as well. They should be players that you if you beat, you are taking down, I don't want to quite say legends, because sure they are, but within the current context, they certainly have not been up there at that real top form. But it still is a very good team for a team like LDLC to be beating.
Sorry, Envious, right? Yeah, sorry, I got lost there. Yeah, but then again, obviously Envious, they're traveling back from E-League, so they're going to be jet-lagged, and how high is your motivation going to be? Sometimes when you play LAN, you come back and you play those online qualifiers, or even online matches as well, you just, the hype, the anticipation isn't there, and sometimes some of these players, they lean into the pressure, if you know what I mean by that. As in, when the pressure's high, they deliver more. So a team like Envious, who have been at countless majors, and they just beat NIP to qualify for E-League playoffs 2-1, and they had the stand-in with Haji from Envious Academy. I don't think you can look into that game too much. I still think LDLC, great win for them, obviously in terms of how that affects themselves in the stand-in, but then again, how much can you really take from it? I think if those games were replayed next week and Envious were fresh with their full roster, I still think Envious won 2-0.
Yeah, I certainly do agree with you the Haji point. I mean, he struggled so much in the first half. I think he was 6 to 18.
But you would, though. You'd be nervous. You'd be hesitant to make plays. You'd want to be the player. And this is even worse. You're filling in for someone. So you're taking Ramp on Nuke. You're taking the... oh, God, what's the... PG-13 way of saying this, the bad positions to play. The places that
he didn't get an easy role, did he? It was no matter what, in terms of the maps as well, I mean, it's not like he was thrown saying, oh, you can play Cash or something where you can be a little bit more loose, a little bit more as an individual. No, he was literally thrown to the bus with Nuke straight away, which is not an ideal start. Yeah,
then again, though, playing Ramp on Nuke is basically what the opposition do for you. Sometimes, some teams are very T-heavy towards Ramp. They like having control of it. They like forcing back that Ramp player because it really affects the whole meta of that round. If your Ramp player suddenly has to fall back towards the B site, then suddenly your Heaven player is going to be worried about the flank coming in. Your outside player suddenly has to worry about the flank coming in from under Heaven, and then things get a bit shaky. So some teams really like going for that pressure, whereas Haji, it just seemed like Envious just wanted to go upper rushes. They want to go outside. They don't really look towards Ramp that much. And if you don't get too much action, you're retaking the B bomb site, you're retaking the A bomb site. On a map like Nuke, it's not an easy task, especially as a stand-in.
Well, that's enough about LDLC. Let's talk about Big for a second. Of course, I'd say it's been a pretty positive month all around. They did exit ESG Mykonos, unfortunately, in Group B, struggling in that elimination match, but that was Liquid. Liquid 2-0, scoreline.
Yeah, but then again, that was the whole, I don't want to say dream scenario for Liquid, but finally it seems like Liquid's roster's really come to fruition, to form, because you look at those names on paper and you were thinking, okay, at what point is the roster change just going to be the catalyst for the team to actually meet its potential? And it seems like they finally found form. For Big ESG Tour, again, how much can you read into it? Then again, how much can you read into the major as well? The fact that they had the 3-0, the top 8, and actually you can read a lot into that. That was an incredible play from them. I can't take anything back from them. I'm trying to be fair. But
what about the FaZe result? 19-17, of course. That was an EPL.
Versus Big.
Versus FaZe.
Versus FaZe. Well, Big versus FaZe. Yeah. I casted that. Was that on Overpass or Train? It was Train. Cash?
It was Cash.
I didn't cast that game, sorry.
So you did or you didn't?
Pro League? Wait a minute. Are you sure?
I mean, oh no, not Pro League, sorry, Epicenter.
I was going to say, because I casted Big
we were
FaZe
close.
Pro League.
EPL, EPI.
You need I asked you yesterday, you need your sources, mate. You need better sources.
1917, Epicenter, sorry, that was the best of 3 European.
Well, you casted Epicenter, so why don't you take me away?
I didn't cast that game, unfortunately. It was here in the studio for Pro League, but that was still close, but they get wrecked, of course, in every other map. Cash. They get wrecked, of course, 16-3 and then 16-1 in the third map as well. So
yeah, but Big are good on Cash. It seems like, I said it yesterday as well when we were casting Mouse Sports, the old edition of Mouse Sports when it had the German players as well. Even Penta as well. I don't know what it is about Cash and why the Germans seem to be good on it. Maybe it's the fact that the CT sides are solid, they have good rotations, they have good communication. The T sides, they're not afraid to make plays, if you know what I mean. On a map like Cash, I mean, we saw what JW was doing on Fnatic versus Heroic on, was it Cash? Heroic Cash? Am I mixing things up here? Fnatic were playing Cash yesterday.
Our information is up in the air.
I know, it's awful. But JW, you saw the difference where on the T side for JW is playing so aggressive, he's getting so much information for his team, and that really makes a big difference when you are playing Cash. So yeah, confidence on that map. For LDLC, then again, I know they're no stranger to Cash, but for Big, definitely a home map for them. I think if this was to be a 1-1, I think Big take Overpass and LDLC take Cash. But then again, you could also make the argument that this could definitely be a 2-0.
Well, if it was 2-0 in favour of Big, that would keep with at least the historical trend, right, of course, Farmskins and Copenhagen. But LDLC, they have been showing up, they have been playing well. So I personally am going for the 1-1. Of course, we talked a lot about Cash, but Overpass is map number 1. So we've got about 60 seconds before this game gets ready to kick off. So any big thoughts on Overpass?
Keeve is a monster towards the A site. I've definitely watched his play before, trying to learn from it. Tunu is very good on the T side with the AWP as well. He's very good at clearing the angles. Actually seems to be quite similar to Guardian when he plays that map. Existence calling, heavy towards B. They like taking control of B short, and their half-by executions are very good.
You mentioned Toinu, who's a big part of the Envy game. A very big part.
He was. I think he had 40 kills. 41 kills.
42 to 25.
Yeah, something ridiculous on Nuke. Yeah, I remember that one. That game never ended, though, did it?
That went on for a very long time.
Yeah, but yeah, essentially heavy B control coming from LDLC on the T side. Toinu is very good T side opening as well, taking control of toilets, peeking, taking those angles and trying to get the first kill for his team. Then again, this is Tabson's map. I feel like every single time big on Overpass, Tabson goes huge.
Is that just a known factor at this point for you?
Every map he seems to go rather large, so we can have that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just that. I would describe that as just Tabson things at this point.
Yeah, you could do.
Going back to Toinu,
right.
I do want to highlight
Not
not
only
only
60 seconds, mate.
I mean, yeah, I feel like 60 seconds was whispered in my ear. I started to believe, but again, we're just going to go back to the trend of information tonight not being our strong point. We'll run that point home. But yeah, Toinu, not only did he have an impressive stat line, but over the past week, his clutch play, getting those triple kills, locking in rounds, securing that second OT, he's been really delivering as an individual. I want to see more from that tonight. Yeah,
you see, there's some AWPers where they have 25 kills on the scoreboard, and you don't really notice it, right? And a player like Toinu, if he's on 25 kills, LDLC are at their prime. He's getting first kill entries, he's getting the most impactful kills in the 3 vs 3s, the 4 vs 4 afterplants. But enough of that, it's going to be LDLC on the T side, and already fast play here towards B.
They're going very swiftly out towards the site next, facing on towards short, does find himself a quick kill on towards Existence, but still got a lot more to do on the site itself as LDLC do take control. Legia going to lose his life to Maniac. Alex, this is a position and a half. Most notably, looking at what's on his back right now.
Oh
that
my
bomb.
Goodness.
This is a real long play.
Tabson as well, the only real defense towards that A site. If Tabson goes down, then LDLC are going to have complete control of the A site. Let's see if he can go large.
Toinu just walking out right behind him. Tabson has no idea what's coming. Big. Confused, and rightfully so. That's such a wacky out-of-the-box play.
This is cool, isn't it? This is mental. 1 minute left on the clock. The bomb can be planted for bank as well. You've got 2 players that are situated towards bank so they can get good after-plant positions. This is looking like a nearly impossible round for Big to win.
In my head, I'm trying to break down what's just gone on, but it feels like it's just frag after frag. It's just a disaster for Big. I mean, LDLC basically barraged their way on towards that B site, took a few kills, pushed on through, wrapped on a ram from behind, planted the bomb, and have just consistently left Big on a bit of a wild goose chase, really.
They have indeed. Keeve now lost alive, trying to get some extra kills and stack up some extra cash, but unfortunately for him, he will eventually go down. So, that pistol there. The question is, right, was that a mid-round call, or was that a call from freeze time? Did Existence say, okay, Alex, hold T-stairs? He was expecting a mid-push from Big, but there was no mid-push, which meant suddenly the opportunity to go for that A-split through CT was viable. Big had so many players towards water, towards heaven as well, that LDLC were able to slip in through CT and get past them. And as soon as Tabson went down as the only line of defense towards CT, the round was as good as done. Big going to be forcing up into this one. You can see Keith and Legia not buying Kevlar. Actually, Legia has bought utility, so it seems like Keith will be wielding the AWP into the first buy round here.
Contact being taken by Alex. He just jumps on around in towards corner. Flash is going to be good. Why isn't that first kill? Second as well, going to fall right into his palm as B going to lose his life very swiftly. It's some easy money being made by that SMG as Existence now looking to be the catalyst on towards the A side as he pushes on forward. Another frag locked in. Make that 2. All on towards next. Playing close to try and do some damage, but it will be a simple round for LDLC. Not losing a single player, making some good money, and a pretty good start for them, all in all Overpass.
Yep. Every single time you are on your anti-ecos and your anti-force buys, you want to have 4 or 5 stay alive so that you can avoid being needed to drop weapons, to rebuy Kevlar, to keep your money afloat so when you go into the buy rounds, you can afford to buy in case you do lose said rounds. Anyway, we're into round number 3 now. Big going to be the full eco now. This is a round where if you're Big, if you get 2 kills, you're happy. If you get 3 kills, you're ecstatic. If you win the round, then you may as well just buy a lottery ticket as well.
Looks like they are just going to be taking a quick face on out. Toinu, just mow him down, buddy. Embracing the easy ones at this point. Alex, 2 kills for him. Once again, really just so much money thrown to the bank of LDLC. $6,000, $8,900 on Alex right now. And he doesn't have to spend really a penny going into this round.
No, he can actually keep the Mac 10 if he wanted to. We saw LDLC on Nuke and on Cash as well go for those weird half buys where they went for Mac 10s and UMPs and whatnot, trying to see if they can counter the fact that the CT side didn't buy head armor. Nevertheless, though, it's going to be the normal default here on T side Overpass. As I said, though, actually, Devo isn't going towards B. It's going to be Don't Connect, so this might be a fast A split.
Facing in towards Keeve, you talked about just how frustrating A-Long could be as an AWPer. Keeve quite going to be handling that for himself as he does find that first kill on towards Alex. Will fall back off the back of that though, doesn't really want to be doing too much here. Maniac shooting through the smoke is a ballsy play. Those tracers giving away his position, allowing Gobby to secure just a second kill. Existence, an explosive spot. But this is all or nothing if he takes a shot and misses.
Oh no.
He'll certainly crumble. Checks to his right. An info play now looking likely. Tag comes in, there's one kill locked in, looking for a second. Tabson lying behind the site, but at this point the rotations should be simple. Toinu picking off Gobby. The round is getting good and doable for LDLC.
It's all down to Devil now. Devil has to get the kill onto Legia. This is the kill that makes a difference. But does Devil know that actually Legia's towards Shoni does? And there you have it, the B site is now open for LDLC. Does he have utility? Yes, he can smoke off Heaven, he can flush GT lower when his teammate needs to cross, and he can get in towards water as well, so there's a forward position for the retake. Great positional play here from LDLC.
A frag grenade as well that completely slows down Big. They take an extra 3 or 4 seconds just to push up towards Graffiti. Toinu given a plant. No sprays coming in next. Does take down the headshot towards Devil. Toinu now on the site, has to hold for the push. Kill number 1, locked in, but next playing around the edge of the smoke. Does find the trade, and ultimately the round for Big, and they're first in this series.
There's a lot to talk about that round. That's actually a... what's the best way to describe that? In terms of a near perfectly round that's perfectly played. The reason being is you saw how the default led into the play towards A, and then suddenly things changed and the rotations came in from Big. So the default led to Devil being the default player towards B to suddenly have to be the player to open up the B site. And then how the retake worked out as well. In the 2 versus 2, they waited for Toinu to plant the bomb, so it was a 1 versus 2 towards the default site. Very, very well played to the textbook of Counter-Strike from both teams there. Unfortunate for LDLC, they played it well. Devil had such a big entry kill, but in the 2 versus 2, Big do shine through. But of course, LDLC can still buy off the back of the pistol and winning those clean rounds versus the Ecos.
The push coming up towards A long now. Alex hungry for that first opportunity. Kiev will face into them, but a UMP not quite the weapon you want at that range. Just a lack of scopes from Big, making things a little problematic for this hold. Well, they will get closer and closer, and that's where Kiev can begin to potentially strike, playing off the corner. The push comes through. Kill number 1 will be found. Can upgrade to a rifle as well. Now should practically be given to him right on the floor. Utility raining on down. Those mollies going to really slow down LDLC, forces them to some very awkward engagements. Frag after frag, headshot after headshot, as it is just going to be on Toinu now to try and claw his way back in. Maniac having to swing on towards Gobby, does make it a 2v3. But next in this corner, this round still should be done. 50 seconds, Toinu not going to rush this. The flank is coming in from behind, bear in mind. Toinu, a very nice shot, now looking for the second. Can't overface. But he does. Legia going to give it to him. Tabson, all alone.
I said the preface before this game, Toinu is so good at getting entry kills towards toilets on the A site. And now in the 1 versus 1, does Tabson think he's gone back towards B? And actually, if Toinu, the longer he waits, the more doubt's going to sink into Tabson's mind as to where Toinu is. And now actually anticipating that Tabson has gone towards the B site, he can plant for bank here.
Talked about Toinu and his clutch potential. He'll be doing it all week long. It was triple kills.
Tabson thinks he could think it's B. Oh no, he can still hear the bomb actually going down from that far away. I thought for a second the actual distance between the site and where he was, he might actually have thought it was the B site.
A very hard round for Toinu to close out. An AWP in that position. Tough to make work. Has a Tech 9, so could potentially whip it out. I mean, Tabson, I think he's just going to stick it. I think he's just going to hold on. Toinu, not the weapon he wanted. Goes for a singular shot with the AWP. Does find the kill, but still a round for Big. 4 kills for him in the round, unfortunately.
Yep.
But it isn't enough.
Well played there by Toinu. Obviously, Big peeking out 1 by 1 into the AWP scope. Eventually, though, Tabson does win the 1 versus 1. Goes for the full stick through the smoke. He knows that Toinu is low, and when the player's low, you can sort of bait out that defuse because the player is so scared to peek. Because if they jiggle peek, even if a shot to the shoulder would have taken him down there, but nevertheless goes to round number 6 now. 2-3, and thanks to the bomb plant as well from Toinu, LDLC can still buy. And actually, Big are the ones that are really hurting in terms of their economy. 2 UMPs, an MP9 there for next, and a big lack of utility and no kit as well for the CT side, so they really have to play quite forward on their CT side. They can't allow the bomb to go down in an after-plant scenario. That does favour LDLC.
They are seeing the push work up towards long. Existence again going to be taking the point with Alex. Very nice stuff on towards Tabson. Kiev, a good position though. I like this from him. It's an aggressive spot. He will be forced into a multitude of angles. Having to pull those 180s backwards and forwards. The smoke actually helping him out here. Does zone him off, but Gives him a chance to play into it. Godby tucked in the corner, gonna hold for Maniac. He doesn't check it. Another kill locked in as the second looks likely. Devil will secure a trade. 50 seconds on the clock. LDLC last time they played time. The round begin to fall apart for Big. Threw away what should have been comfortable. Kiev trying to force the pick around this smoke, picks off the bomb. Now looking for Toinu, who's going to be very, very close. All comes down to timing. Legia supporting him, doesn't even allow Kiev to go for the shot. Simple as that, the MP9 finishes it off.
The fact of having no kill as well really didn't make a big difference into the round. You saw how forward Big were playing there. They doubled up both the SMGs towards a long. They know that LDLC like to go for the long take. The reason being is if you have control of a long and control of the toilets, you can do a full execution. You can Molotov truck from long. You can smoke CT stairs and you can smoke bank from long. So in terms of an execution towards the A site, you do need long and of course toilets and banana to go for that full set execution. And we know how Existence likes the call, so that definitely does favour his textbook style of CS. And though heavy control towards B shot, currently Existence trying to go for the first kill.
Existence again almost playing as the entry fragger at this point as he positions himself on towards short for that first kill, but finds nothing, just a swift spray on through the smoke. Now the boost is going to come through. Actually, Resistance information potentially on towards any players towards barrel. Won't hit any movement, bear in mind, from these two players. Godby pushing next up. Spray somewhat unmet.
Bomb still towards T-spawn there from LDLC. Currently playing the slow default here. You can see Alex and of course Toinu trying to work towards for LDLC, and now it really depends where they get this first kill. If they do get that kill or they do die. If they get a kill towards A, then they can fake A, go through connector, go back towards B if they wanted to, but then again, when you look at the utility, only one smoke grenade onto Maniac, so in terms of a fake or an execution, won't be looking too strong. Devil going to be giving up B control as well for the side of LDLC, gets the bomb and brings it back towards A. Maniac with a smoke can smoke towards CT and the stairs. But is that going to be enough?
I want to see those smokes, though. They have to come through. Just walking in towards the scope of Kiev is simply making it too easy for him. The second shot will be missed, but they can't chase. 25 seconds. You got to go fast. Devil on the site. The bomb should come through. No one there to deny it. Prompting the retake now. But Big, they're all stacked up. They're ready to go. They have the information on the position of Maniac and Alex. They're not going to boost over. They're just going to molly them out. Flashes. Looking very likely. A nice and high one, forcing Maniac into a very sour spot. Both kills locked in. Simple as anything, the molly. Still burning on towards Struck as he got B. Just going to get aggressive at this point as he tries to tear down the round with brute force alone. Got B, finishing it off with a triple kill. Just taps them straight on the defuse.
Then again, though, Big have won 4 rounds in a row now, and LDLC with the bomb plant against, they can still buy. With the 3,400 round loss bonus, plus the fact that LDLC went for the half buy in the last round, and of course the bomb being planted, they can have a very, very strong buy, and they're going back to this half SMG, half AK buy, where they go for a very high octane style of CS, where they go for the fast play. This could be towards B short, this could be towards connector, but I guess you're about to find out. Let's see, what's the call from Existence here? Early flashbang towards middle. Maybe go down towards connector. 4 players, 5 players towards connector maybe. So let's see if Godby can hold off this aggressive play.
It's going to be just the 4 Devils spotting all that fountain push. Smoke coming in from Godby should buy him a bit more time. Worth noting that for LDLC, this strategy has a pretty damn high success rate.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. Teams haven't really been used to it yet or actually seen it in fruition. One of the things I really like about Big on their CT side is the heavy connector control they go for. Generally speaking, it's usually Godby that goes for it, but you can see how that really does slow down Existence's default.
To look towards the position of Alec right now, walked through that con smoke. That's a big risk for LDLC to take, but does walk through it nonetheless. Takes a lot of top con control. Yeah,
but he can be a fake as well. What grenades does Alex got? He's got a smoke. So if he smokes off, if he goes towards a long, smokes off the end of long, makes business towards toilets, he can try fake as if there's 2 or 3 people there. You can see his team right now waiting to go outside B. They might just use Alex as a insurance policy to deny any rotations through connector from Big, but here it comes, the presence and the play towards the B side. Or does it? They're going back towards T-spawn here, Ryan. And now they leave Alex alone.
Look at what they've done, though. They leave Alex on short. He's there to sell the fake on towards B, not A. That's the ruse the entire time. 4 players rotated over. We're starting to see an inkling from Tabson that something's up. He begins to move back, but almost a little too late. The flashes will come in. LDLC about to strut onto an empty site practically. It's all going to be on towards Kiev to have an impact. The rotations have come through, but the entire site conceded. Makes it an almost instant retake. Many a 1v1. Devil already locking a kill, just mowing down Godby through the wall. Taps him with a tray, but Devil having a wonderful time at this point. A second frag lines up next, the man to take it. Keeve still looking for a chance with the AWP, peeks towards long. That's a big frag to find, clearing it out. Focusing all the firepower now on towards short. Next, taking headshot first. Leaving it all on towards Alex. The lurk of the entire tribe tries to come in for the flank, but Keeve has the round unlocking key.
This is the thing, right? This is one of the risks when you go for that buy, when you do lack the AWP. Big on the retake had no smokes, just kits and flashbangs. If Toinu had an AWP towards Banana, if there's no smokes towards that bomb being defused, that is very easy kills to find with the AWP. Very, well, I don't want to say very easy round to win, but obviously it makes it far, far easier to win from a, I don't know, 30 to 70% chance of a success rate in that scenario in the 2 versus 3 with the UMPs. If you had an AWP, suddenly becomes a 60-40 maybe in your favor, even 50-50, just because having the AWP towards Banana, you get that first kill, suddenly big panic, they have no smoke to use as a shroud when they go for the defuse, they have to tap it, they have to push toilets, and then suddenly pushing into the teammate that had the UMP, and maybe that round could have been very different. As I said before, that's one of the issues of when you buy those UMPs is you become very tunnel visioned on one style of CS, where if you do find cracks in the road on your journey to the end site, smokes towards connector, heavy presence towards B, suddenly you're not really as viable in the late rounds or the after plants towards the A site.
I kind of feel like things can get messy as well. The lines can very much get blurred from LDLC in terms of the play they're making. I mean, we saw them just make that gutsy decision to go back towards A, but it's just so messy, again, is the word that really fits it perfectly.
But then again, I think one of the reasons this might be something that actually does appear in the meta is because look at the buy again from LDLC. It seems like with the UMPs and the half buys, they always buy down to 1.8k, and at 1.8k, you can still buy into the next round with a 3.4k loss bonus. So, LDLC are still going to have a full buy here. Toiny with the AWP, as I mentioned before, that was a big difference maker in the last round of how that one played out after they met resistance towards connector and B. But now it's a round number 9, bomb at 15 on the clock, bomb still towards T-Spawn, and Devil holding very, very, very passively here towards T-Spawn. As they're expecting a push or a play from Big. The reason they might be expecting a push here is because LDLC took a timeout, and usually when you take a timeout, you're discussing what you're going to do with the round, maybe an execution. If you're the opposition playing versus the team that took the pause, you might want to throw a spanner in the works, do something crazy or audacious to catch them off guard, so that they can't do the play that they were trying to, or they were planning to do.
Existence might be under pressure towards long. Potential double peak or even boost. The likes of Tabson. I think Keeve, but that doesn't come through. Keeve just locking in towards short. Does deal with Alex nonetheless. Devil will be ready to walk out on towards the site. The Molly does give away the information. Legia trying to hold things back, but only one kill to be locked on in. Next, struggling. As Devil does find that frag. Plant does come in. Toinu in a very good position now with the Orphan to slip out to the left. Only the tag, but the Glock will finish it off. Leaving just Tabson up towards heaven. Have to bear in mind, he's disturbed by existence at this point. He's making so much noise. Why not, right? Why not? That's all I have to say to that.
Definitely the French.
Holding the angle. I mean, Tabson at this point just walks into him. It's a simple round for LDLC, and about damn time they pick something up too when you consider just how many Big have picked up back-to-back.
Yeah, it's going to be 6. Sorry. It was 5 in a row from the side of Big. Actually, Keeve isn't able to save his AWP. And those rounds have been fairly close. I mean, 1 versus 1s, 3 versus 3s, 2 versus 2s. And you can see after winning 5 in a row, as soon as they lose one round, because those rounds were so tight, they weren't able to build up an economy or establish strong money. So their buy might be fairly weak, and they can use well, their buy here is going to be strong. But if they lose this round, they shall be reset by LDLC. LDLC now need to chain 2 rounds together. It's going to be the UMP for Alex. And actually, 2 players have had armor right now for the CT side, so going for the Kevlar, sorry, going for the UMP buy could definitely be fruitful.
Facing right into Legia, the AWP is not what you want, completely blind, later waste by Devil. Alex kicking it into high gear, running out with that UMP. Tabson at least trying to secure the trade, does pop him for just a 1 kill, but completely tacked on down. Toinu straight through the railing. Just
been slapped there, hasn't he? Anyway, it's going to be the 4 versus 2 now, 2-man advantage here for LDLC as the after plant and the retake does begin. Then again, if you're Big right now, you might as well just save here. Your money is so low. If you were to go for this, you're taking a huge risk. And the risk versus reward as well. If they lose the round, they'll have no weapons going into round number 11. And there you have it, they will be going for the save. Good call being made by Godby. But then again, their round loss bonus now after losing 2 on the trot is going to be 1.9k. Matt, our observer, if you can show us the money real quick. I just want to see if they can actually drop anything. So Gobby will have 2.4k. So he can only drop over a UMP or a FAMAS. Keeve as well can only drop over a UMP. So for Big, you may as well just save this round here, have 2,000-ish across the board. You're going to get 2.4k into round number 12, so just eco for that, and then you can have a buy there. But then the problem is, at that point, LDLC might get to 6 or 7 rounds.
Which on the T side is
It's good, but then again, LDLC won the pistol, so far, it's expected.
Yeah, so it does help them, of course, inflate their score, and 3 being picked up thanks to that pistol. Toinu, still a very strong start from him, 11 to 4, which is kind of what we really pushed kind of at the start of this game, saying we wanted that. I think that 4K definitely helped though in round 5, of course. I can't read too much into that stat line, but
yeah, it's the Overpass is definitely an AWPers map. The reason being is there's so many straight long angles, similar to Inferno on the CT side. When you're holding towards Arch, holding towards mini pit, towards quad, or towards middle, it's all straight linear angles. And of course, there's so many chances to fall back as well. But let's see if Keeve can fall back from this position.
Keeve has to be the catalyst here. Finds pick number 1, looking for the second, does find it on short, but Maniac does still secure the return frag, and that's where things begin to get a little bit painful now for Big. Such a lack of firepower makes this retake almost impossible. Has 2 rifles to play, which again comes back to that point of saving, but stuck towards short, making it very, very hard. They're actually going to push for it anyway. Doing a good chunk of damage, but Toinu just laying them to waste with that AWP. Absent tapping from upper. But it is going to be a round for LDLC.
Still a good round though from Big. When you look at the money damage they did, 2 players staying alive for LDLC, but obviously there's only going to be 4 more rounds to be played out. So when it comes to the latter portions of this first half, it really does come down to the rounds instead of the money. Anyway though, it's going to be the FAMAS there for Lecky, a good utility for him. No AWPs right now on the CT side, and we've seen the impact that Keeve's AWPs really been having versus LDLC towards the A bomb site, towards Tortoise and towards Long. Without having the AWP, how much will that really dent the CT defense going towards the Alpha bomb site? Nevertheless though, Toinu could be building the AWP again for the T side. He's been really stepping up for the side of LDLC. In the afterplants, he's been stellar. And let's see if we can get to an afterplant position, or maybe if Big can just shut them down before they even leave Monster.
A nice molly from Legia. Will force these 2 players into him. Could have been a simple double, but can't line them up. Alex still will lose his head either way, thanks to Nex being in the right place, right time. Existence popping in from short. A high flash as well, handing over the site, in fact. Toinu aggression with the AWP, leading in for kill number 1. Nex trying to play towards the back of site, doing a very nice dance, and at least at both the kills, upping it to 3 overall. Putting Big 6 to 6, and a big round for them to find, considering the pace of this game.
Yep. Round number 13 now. And a simple contact play towards the B site was enough there. Anyway, into this round though, 66 scoreline. LDLC, they want to take this one and reset the money here from Big, and the round loss bonus. For Big, of course, they really need to establish a better CT half. Then again, Big are so strong on the T side as well. Gobby's style of calling, quite similar when you think about Existence as well. Heavy map control into the heavy executions and very strict. When you compare it to other French IGLs, Shocks, where he plays far looser. Anyway though, 1 minute 20 on the clock here. Bomb still above connector. Very, very normal default coming up from LDLC. 1 towards B, 1 towards middle, and actually Alex does get legged up there by Keeve's AWP, and now they know Keeve's AWP towards long toilet. Can Keeve get away?
I think this is so tough. I mean, the flash is good.
Oh, wow.
He's trying to get on over, but more and more damage is being laid onto his shoulders. There's no way in hell. Alex just going to push forward, completely hunting him. Devil, a second on towards Legia. This is looking better and better. But every time they've walked up towards this A site, they've struggled to check these corners towards Long. Gobby tucked in there. That UMP, I already assume at least good for 1.
Yeah, they can go back towards B now for LDLC. 40 seconds left. You have ample time to go back towards the B bomb site. Devil's already outside Monster. The bomb's going to be making its way as well. And right now it's going to leave Nex alone towards B. Alex with the AWP. All he has to do is just sell a fake. And even if he scopes in the AWP, that's all he has to do. Because if the AWP is here towards A, that means the rest of the team should be as well. If he just scopes in, that's a big enough fake.
And today Nex is there just solo, right? So even if he dies right now, it's still, he's done enough. He's kept absent. He's kept Gobby on that site. Rotates are coming through, but already too late. Nex now feeling the pressure. It's all on towards him. A double kill, close to a triple. I argue he's done his piece. Now it's a 2v2 retake. They're quickly coming into the site. They know exactly where Maniac is planting. This puts them in a very tough spot. tabseN going face first. But again, he knows where Existence is. Both of them shadowing each other's position. It's a matter of who will peek first, who will shoot first. Ticks on down, but Existence, he takes the bait. tabseN finding the kill.
tabseN winning the 1 versus 1 can now actually retrieve the AWP. 1 versus 2 actually now can retrieve the AWP. Damage down now to the money of Big. What's their buy going to be like? We've already seen some Famis's and some UMPs for them. tabseN can drop over the up to Kyiv. Then again, what else are they going to be able to afford here? Lego can buy the M4. Same goes for God B. The pause will come through. So, 7-6 so far. LDLC going to be taking the tactical pause. They know that Big's money is going to be low. If they can win this round, make it 7-7, they know that Big's money in the final round of the first half will be low. So there's a high chance that if it goes 7-7, that it will go 8-7 in favor of LDLC. But then again, what can they really fall back to? Seems like their default, 1 towards B, 1 towards connector, 3 towards A. The normal default you see at Overpass, the reason being is you can smoke out front toilets, molly out banana, flash and push back the AWP from A long. Suddenly you have control of long, you have control of toilets, you have control of banana as well. Kyiv, he's been playing towards toilets so heavily, but he's still maybe a thorn in the backside for LDLC. The question is that if you can deal with Kyiv, maybe well-timed flashbangs or well-placed flashbangs towards A, push it back towards default, then suddenly set an execution towards A that could counter him. LDLC have had success towards the B site as well. They can go for a concept play through B. But actually, I forgot to mention this, Ryan. Look at the money here for LDLC. They need this round here, otherwise Big could easily finish the half 9-6.
And again, of course, coming down to just how close things have been. A rudimentary point, but it's worth mentioning and giving props to both these teams for their use of these tactical pauses as well, bear in mind. You expect it, of course, from these two in-game leaders, but it has been strong. Maniac, nonetheless, going to interrupt as he does take down Leggy, and next, a fruitful anchor on towards the site, improving it again with a double kill. These pistols, much easier targets at this point. Is Kyiv facing up against his foe, does miss a shot, but all the information pulling on through. That's a tag through a smoke. Does allow him to get close, but a second tag through the scope, please.
If this was the ACA right now and I press tab and go on his profile to see his German, I'd be a bit worried.
So many UK players whipping out that comment. It's all stand at this point. tabseN pulling out a double. Kyiv.
Oh. Oh, that's a very good round there from big old Kyiv. 8-6 now is going to be the scoreline here for Big on their CT side. Obviously, the money for LDLC is going to be low, but they went for the half buy, so they can afford a good buy into the final round. Round number 15. Let's see what LDLC are going to pull out the bag here. They went towards A, but it seems like most of the success has been towards the B side.
Hungry for that first pick. That's definitely been another real positive for them. I think they've been able to pick up that first blood. Quite often so. Next as well, just again towards B. Look at this aggression from tabseN, actually completely scrapping that, just charging up through Fountain. The first time Big have gone this far forward. They do throw the safe smoke, meaning he can just focus on what's behind him, but he doesn't. Alex getting to run riot.
tabseN didn't expect that Alex had already left the T stairs, but actually God B chimes in, gets one. Now the duel between the IGLs eventually goes in favor of Existence, but Kyiv again towards toilet, spots out that leg there from Alex. Flashbang comes in. But actually the real player is towards the B site, leaving Leggy alone towards B. He's going to have to try and take the 1 versus 3 and take it in his favor.
He's in a good position, but gets flicked on down. Devil, very swift to dismiss. The B site already there is pretty comfortable for LDLC at this point in the round. Should be. Kyiv is coming in on the rotate. Expecting to get a push potentially, but even that isn't going to be thrown at him. Just a quick plant from LDLC. Don't want to overface. The retake being forced in towards Pit. Next will goes for both of those kills, somehow connecting for the second. But Alex closing it out. There you have it, 8-7. That will be the first half concluding. We'll be back with you in just a few moments' time. An 8 to 7 half, certainly keeping LDLC and Big both sides on their toes.
Big going to be matching exactly what Existence called for on the T side from LDLC's pistol. The play towards the B side, but actually LDLC went for a very smart split towards A through CT. Let's see if Big can match that with a big solid play.
LDLC, two very solid positions. You've got Alex and Maniac both tucked in. Alex with kill number 1, a very crispy headshot. Maniac plays peekaboo, does only find 1 kill. Nex and Key both combining. Nex has been huge right now towards B. Did it on the CT side, and he's going to do it on the terrace side as well. 2 kills locked in. Existence left headless. The damage being done towards Devil means this is easy for Nex to finish off. 3 kills. Beautiful play. That B site is his right now.
Thankfully as well, pistols will go 1 for 1, so that does lend to a more fairer matchup. Next right now, 19 kills and 9 deaths, so stellar performance from him so far on Overpass. Inside of LDLC, top performer being Alex, Devil and Toyno as well, all round sitting around 12 to 13 kills, but nevertheless, round number 17 now, it's with a 4 spike coming up from LDLC. Toyno just going to be going for the PT50 and smoke. Look at this, 5 smokes actually. Okay, what you can do with 5 smokes when you go for the 4 spies is you can use them to slow down the T side, and the longer the round goes for, the more information you get, the more things you hear. It makes it easier for the IGL and the captain to actually call a stack towards whichever site Big eventually going to go to. And it also means if you use the smokes correctly, you can almost funnel in Big to the site you want them to go to.
Some interesting thoughts. Let's see if it plays out that way.
We used to do it on Inferno actually, buy 5 smoke grenades. You would smoke banana 4 times straight, and the reason being is eventually you'd force them to come towards A. It worked quite well actually. You see a lot of teams do that.
That's a strat right there.
Yeah, it was.
Either way, let's see if it does work out for LDLC. Of course, already 2 smokes being employed, leaving just 3 now in play.
Yeah. Thing is though, there's still 2 more smokes left and there's 40 seconds, and you can see actually how well those smokes have worked, because with 40 seconds left, Big have no control of the map. The issue is here, have LDLC smoked off long? Because if they haven't, is that actually the gap that Big are going to take?
I mean, you remove the smoke from the equation, there's still such a mismatch in weaponry. This round could be over and done with just a matter of seconds. It comes down to Existence now, and Toyno to get up close and personal and manage to pull through. Keeve, at least with a very quick trade, but at this point, the short wraparound should leave Existence none the wiser. Stuck towards Transformer, Alex will be. Does manage to pull through with a kill, somehow still standing. Devil, the headshot towards Keeve.
That's why 5 smokes is so prevalent right now for the 4 spies on the CT side especially. You can use those smokes, chain them together, and just take time off the clock. Big couldn't take... Okay, if you're the ones playing versus the 4 spy, you're not going to walk through a smoke versus pistols. You're not going to take that risk. It's silly. Unless you're together and you flash the smoke potentially, you might go for it. For playing it nice and slow, they turn the clock down to 40 seconds, 30 seconds left. That smoke that goes towards long forces Big to have to push through it, and they walk into the stack. I mentioned before as well, it's very easy to call the stack when you do the smokes as well. Existence had 4 players from LDLC on that A site.
Still feel like some of those duels shouldn't have went those ways, but it is what it is. You're going to have to suck it up and deal with it. Pistols try and force their way up now on towards that A site, but it will be a quick 1-for-1 affair. Toyno starting to accelerate the round and taps down Keith towards long. The bomb completely now trapped on towards the site. Frag grenade, Molly, both going to force him out of position. It is just still B to try and survive. But a simple round for LDLC. They equalize things 9-9.
Yeah, and actually, that 4 spy win from LDLC could be the catalyst for them to actually win this map here. Big. They lose their 4 spy, now going to be going onto the eco. But actually, I think LDLC think that Big are going to buy. That's why they disregarded the 2 UMPs and went for the orbs and the rifles. Looking at the Betway odds as well, actually now Betway seems to be favouring LDLC to take this one.
Really start to even out though. Legia charging through those smokes once again, trying to see if he can find himself a crack to play into. An opportunity to work on towards that B site. So much manpower from LDLC here. Really proving to be a tough one to work out. Legia losing his life to Alex. The rotate did come in from Big. It was called very early on to quickly run up through connector, get yourself onto the A site. For LDLC on the flip side, they're rotating over 2. They know exactly what the game plan of Big is going to be. Existence with that peak. Sure, he gets tacked down to 14 HP, but he's still standing. that EWP, the rifle of Devil. I mean, this round is done. Kyiv trying to get close, but trade after trade, position being exchanged. LDLC, a 10th round, a bit of bloodshed, but a 10th round.
Round number 20 now. LDLC at 10. Finally a team at double digits here. 4 AKs in the AWP onto Kyiv. The T side are big. How are they going to work this round? Are they going to give space for Kyiv to work the pick towards the A site? Maybe challenge Toynu's up towards toilets, or maybe go towards B to get the first pick towards short. Let's see now. Toynu with the AWP going actually towards the B site instead of the normal. Well, normally the AWPer is towards toilets, but this time Toynu wants to go for the peek towards short, and he's actually going to be beating the smoke here and peek over the Molotov. I like this. If he spots no one towards this position on the map as well, that's so much information, because it does really lend to the fact that Big are trying to go for A and toilets control.
Gives LDLC so much knowledge, but also a real clear-cut idea of how Big are trying to approach this half as a whole.
I actually really like that play. The reason is because you take the AWP towards B short sewers, and you Molotov off sewers, which means he can't be pushed. If he misses the shot, he cannot be pushed. He cannot be ran down unless the players ran through that Molotov. Anyway, though, 1 minute 10 left on the clock here. And you can see, actually, from LDLC, they've got a heavy presence towards the B site still. The boost towards sandbags. 2 players still towards B, but eventually Toynu seems to be rotating back towards the A site. Actually, no, it's going to be Alex rotating instead. But is it too late?
Existence on the corner. Starting actually to move up towards A. Deeper towards Swillets, perhaps. A flash on towards Tabson. Going to buy a bit more time for LDLC. Rotate starting to be called in. You see the positional adjustment. A run towards that B side. His Legia takes the contact. Alex with a quick trade. The Galil starting to do the work, but it's not going to be enough to survive the onslaught. Toynu at least picking up one with his AWP, but an angle that you certainly can't repeat. Kyiv able to punish Devil. The bomb plant looking likely. No one able to swing out nice and wide and take that down. And Molly as well, really slowing the round down to a halt, leaving just Maniac to peek single-handedly. Toynu definitely going to be safe in the AWP at this point. As a retake made excruciatingly tough for LDLC just by the utility from Big, forcing both sides to play no longer in tandem and much more as individuals. You break down the team play of LDLC, and that retake is basically nothing.
So, Big manages to challenge the A site here from LDLC and make it 10 to 10. Thankfully, though, LDLC, one of the force by their money, should be fairly decent as well, considering how clean the rounds were versus one of the ecos, and also the said force by win. Well, the fact that Big, when they went for the full eco and they charged up A long, they took out 3 weapons from the CT economy, and you can see that's actually dented LDLC's money and really halted any momentum they had. Anyway, now we're going to round number 21. It's going to be 10 to 10 scoreline. Up again onto Kyiv. 4 AKs as well for the side of Big, so same old, but for LDLC, C-Said for Devil, all for Toynu. Famas onto Existence, UMP for Maniac, and the only player with the M4 for the CT side will be Alex. So we're going to need a big performance here from Toynu with the AWP. He's gone again for the same play towards sewers and be short, but it's the exact same result he had last time. Nothing. Yes, you get information from being in this position, but the issue is that AWP should be towards toilets, towards toilet stairs, towards A long to get that first kill towards the A site. But maybe Existence obviously expected to play towards B from Big, but instead they're going to be going for the boost here to spot towards A long, and they can't see him just yet. Obviously, how can I forget the team? How can I forget the team? It was Guardian, Na'Vi. That was the Na'Vi boost at IAM 2016. Katowice.
I was thinking you mentioned Guardian, I suddenly don't realize the team. It's gotta be Na'Vi.
I know.
Struggling at the moment, though, it has to be said. That was a surprising map for them to lose, but...
Yeah, but I still think 3 months' time they'll be still up. Anyway, Existence goes for the nice pop flash towards long, but now he's trapped here.
Making it work, dude. You can't knock the Famas. Have to double kill for Existence. Hungry for more. Got beat. All turn for the flash, though. Quick trade from Alex. Putting in the numbers. Does leave Big in a pretty dastardly 2 versus 4. Bear in mind, no map control. Trying to see if they can force the issue now on towards that A site. Kyiv expecting some sort of aggression towards Bank, but getting nothing to work with. Maniac coming in the big flank now. Toynu already picking off Kyiv. Lines up the second kill on towards Legia.
That's the reset. Big did have 3 players alive when they went around in round number 21, sorry. But then again, look at the money now after the reset comes through. If you've got B right now, yeah, I was going to say, this is a really good time to pause. Question right now for Big. Do you go for the force buy here and put all your eggs, or should I say money, into one basket? Do you go for the half buy, the eco, going into round number 23? They would have 1.9k, so Gobby can buy, Keeve could buy an AWP as well. He would have 5,400, so that's a big selling point actually if they did save here. Keeve could buy an AWP, Next could buy, Tabson could buy, but obviously Leg would be forced onto like a UMP and utility. That's still doable. So yeah, the right decision, the right call to make here for Big is to save, just because the buy they're going to have into round number 20, whatever else it is, 23 I believe, would be a lot better than whatever they could afford.
Oh my god. What was that? Toinu lining him up in connector. 2 easy kills.
Yeah. What's crazy as well is the fact that he's gone for that peak versus pistols. Going for a peak towards connector is a big risk as an AWP, but to go for it versus a pistol buy is the same actually.
They'll
very
just
risky.
run at you, won't they?
Yeah, and if you miss that shot as well, you're pretty much done for, because you can't really get up the stairs in time, especially if they're holding W if they get a good spawn. But then again, Existence wants Toinu to go for that peak because he wants to understand if they're buying or not, and if they had Tet 9s or UMPs or Galils, he still would have found the kills. Anyway, 12 to 10 now, as LDLC have the 2-run advantage, but now Big can buy. Keeve actually going to go for the AK and utility instead of buying the AWP.
That's a really interesting point considering just how impactful that AWP was.
Yeah, well he had 3.6k, obviously plus 1,000, 4.6k, plus 900, 5,500, so he could have bought AWP and Kevlar if he wanted to, but instead he's opted for the utility and the AK. So that might telegraph that they want to go for an execution play.
Well, looking at the positions right now, this does remind me very much of a set piece. Look at that AWP peek from Toinu. He knows Next has gone close right towards Monster. Finally, after 2 rounds, he's tried to pull out of the bag. The 3rd time lucky. He might even catch off Legia as well. Bear in mind, still being very patient, holding that right side. A shoulder peek from Legia. They're aware the AWP is there, but Toinu is too damn quick. Big can do nothing about that as well. That's so painful, because usually they'd be looking for some way to punish them, some way to make it a 4-for-4, but they have to just sit tight and wait. The only thing they can do is bank on their teammates to run towards that A site, having a successful fake. As the smoke comes in, Tabson starting to work up. But I love the fact Existence gone towards long. Devil gonna look for some easy ones with his AWP. Simple trades.
This
and
is
again,
well played, yeah.
Look at Existence.
The double on set up there towards the B side. Big definitely weren't ready for that one. Toinu towards B, shot gets the first kill onto Legia. And then the AWP as well towards Monster. Again, they weren't expecting 2 AWPs towards that B side. Leaving just Gobby and Tabson down the 2 versus 4. It's definitely winnable. But then again, they have lost the bomb. So actually, the chances are definitely dwindling, especially now as Existence is pushing in from behind.
They're just not facing from LDLC, which is why I was really stressing the point of just Existence, but it applies to pretty much everyone anywhere on the map. LDLC giving neither Gobby or Tabson anything to work with, forcing Gobby into a duel as we see here. Maniac, all he's got to do is just hold the angle. Leaving it all on towards one man's shoulders. Tabson feeling the pressure at this point, trying to see if he can make it work. Molly in hand. Toinu just going to be doing the tango around him, running in circles with the CZ. 13 to 10. And a force by win from LDLC, pushing them up to this point as they look to take this game over the line. This done wonders for them, really, when you consider what the scoreline was. It was basically 10 to 10 when that force buy came in. Now we're at 13-10. They beat them again on that buy. LDLC, they pretty much have their 14th hit.
Definitely. Especially because they haven't actually lost versus the Eco just yet on Overpass. They've had close rounds, maybe 2 versus 2s or whatnot, but they have always secured the win versus the Ecos. This time, they're for LDLC, they need to make sure it's clean. They cannot afford to lose so many players again.
It is going to be that push towards connector. Big just creeping on up, taking the steps. Looking towards short, now looking back. An indecisive lineup, but at the end of the day, why not? You've got time to work with, no need to rush. LDLC just looking for information on what this play is going to be, but nothing being given from Big. They just walk as pretty much a ball of pain. I mean, the only player that could actually have some serious impact right now would be Tabson. Potentially able to take down Existence, but no, Existence gets aggressive. Next does find the kill. Picks up a UMP for his troubles. Gobby picking off Devil certainly could change things. But the bulk of the manpower towards A, which allows them to run towards B and get that bomb through.
There seems to be a fast rotation here from Maniac towards the B side. Only as a flashbang. He needs a Molotov or something to really halt the aggression here from Big, but thankfully, Legia does go down, turns into the 3 versus 3, and now this is far more manageable for LDLC. Got B going to be used as a fake. Try and see if he can sell it towards that B site and force LDLC to over-rotate so the site towards A is clear.
Problem is he's doing nothing. Toinu will just hold the angle. We saw how this played out in previous rounds. It was simply an easy one for LDLC, and I hate to describe it in that way, but that's all it's going to be here as well. Alex and Toinu both doing their job, both being passive. Got B. Sure, he has his impact towards B, but...
Could have saved the AK here. Actually, the issue is if you save the AK, you're not going to get a round loss bonus. How much money has Got B got? So, the round loss bonus is $2,900, and the AK is worth $2,700, so it's about the same.
I have to ask, if you're big, you get those kills. You know the B site likely is going to be open, but then they take the slow rotate towards the site, allowing Maniac time to get on over there. Why not just rush for the plant, take the risk?
They would have made a lot of noise if they rushed. Easy rotations in. They thought that potentially there'll be a player towards Heaven as well on the rotate, and obviously if you're towards Heaven, you can easily lock down short. And of course, being in the server, it's very different. You don't know what one of the players have communicated. They might have heard steps towards CT lower. He may have heard players rotating off the A side towards B as they were going down connector, something like that. But anyway, talk about the B site, here it comes.
Going to be a big play from Devil, certainly required. Hit shot number one, withdraws into the smoke instead of having the balls, does hate the second peak. Maniac going to go for the huge swing, but Keeve will gobble him right back up again, forcing the 3v3. Keeve locked in towards short, another headshot lines up as Existence quickly loses his head. Keeve now so hungry. Alex will find the return frag. The bomb ticking on through. LDLC with a game plan on this retake. Going to be throwing the molly now to try and force them out. Smoke on towards the bomb as well. Flash coming through next. Blind for just a few moments, but not quite going to be enough to stop him. Holding this cross, Toinu punished thanks to that. Got B on towards Alex, and as simple as anything big, they keep the dream alive.
14-11 now. The simple rush towards Monster manages to bring forward that 11th round. LDLC not going for the early mollies or the early grenades towards Monster. Usually when you're playing versus a team like Big, they play slow. They're going for the map control. They're taking control of the real estate across the map. That's what they were expecting. A much slower round. And actually, the score is not 15-10. It's 14-11. But we'll let that one slide.
I don't want to say, outside of the MB game where it went 25-22.
No, was it 25-22? Yeah, it was. It was. It's not ridiculous like that. Yeah.
Outside of that game, in terms of pauses, for me, if we look back at the whole week of Pro League, this has been the best game for teams just being smart and using those opportunities just to take those 30 seconds, have a chit chat. Yeah, it sounds like such a small point, right? But I think it's so important because you see a lot of teams on various levels.
I think these teams as well are on the same... I don't want to say the same level. I definitely think Big are a better team. Definitely on LAN.
I think they're on the same tactical wavelength, though.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. They play a similar style. You've got your star AWPer. You've got your star captain. Godby, obviously, so much history behind him and his cooling and his tactical depth. Exact same storyline for Existence. And then you've got your support player on Legia and on Maniac. Legia, old friends of Godby, Maniac. Pretty much boyfriend and girlfriend of Existence. And then you've got Toinu and Keeve, the star, flamboyant AWPers. And then you've got Devil and Next. They were playing on better teams, but they got kicked, and now they're on the lesser teams.
Structured almost identically.
Exactly. You've got Alex, who's one of the, I don't want to say star riflers for the side of LDC. Actually, pretty much is. And obviously Tabson, but I feel like Tabson's probably the best player in the server, though. But anyway, Existence, Captain, does get the kill towards Tabson, but then again, is it too late? Because already Bigger found 2 entries towards the B-bomb site.
Short could be problematic for them as they are going to force the fight next. Seems to be taking this stride, though. Holding down the spray towards Toinu. Whips out his Glock, finishes it up with a headshot. Existence trying to do some damage. That is a second kill for him in the round. Playing for an ace at this point, but I think looking past that, just playing for damage. Trying to have as much of an impact as he physically can. It's a rifle for him to save, bear in mind as well. He's done his part.
Definitely. Existence now going to try and save the AK, as it is going to go to 14-12 now. Big, slowly but surely managed to bring this one back. I believe LDLC can bind to the next one, as the bomb will eventually tick down away. So, for LDLC, what's the game plan? Big have been heavily contesting the B bomb site. Do you send the AWP towards B again from Toinu? Molly off the short pipe, peek over the Molotov towards outside Monster, try to use the AWP that way. Do you simply have someone solo the A site? Some teams do that. I mean, Guardian or FaZe sometimes solos the A site with the AWP, and then you can have 4 towards B, or you can have 3 towards the B site, have 1 player towards Heaven, have the player that solos on a jump spot towards long, jump spot towards banana if he sees anyone, Then you have the fast rotations from Heaven towards the A site, so by the time the T's get to the site, you already have the 2 players there. But then obviously they won't be in good positions on the A site. So many questions to be answered, but actually I feel like some aggression would definitely be something I'm up to seeing. Existence down towards Long, having Toinu as well with the AWP here, but then again, have we seen play towards A Long from Big? At what point does Existence actually push Long and have Toinu just try wreak havoc towards toilets?
See, this is the thing, Existence towards the later stage of the round, he's been pushing it when he feels a lot more confident, but early on, he's been way just hesitant to walk on up, and I feel like that's going to be the differentiating factor on whether he gets a kill or not in the round, really. Because he could go further up right now and have a potential for a double. I mean, the information on tabseN, the likes of GodB as well, can read the play almost textbook, because Big have done this round, what, 3 times now? 2 players towards A, the bomb, and the last 2 players over on towards B just stacked outside Monster.
And this is the thing, you can actually leave tabseN here behind the Shroud of Smoke, have the rotation in from GodB back towards the B site. He has no utility, but he can still just be manpower towards B. Still, though, very standard round here from LDLC. 3 towards B, 2 towards A, but the push is now coming in from Existence. At what point does Toinu rotate back towards B? But look, tabseN's also walking up. Hey, he can come in from behind from CT, and suddenly there can be a flank.
This round is just madness, let's be honest. Legia, given a chance at a simple kill towards Maniac, will miss it. Does enable LDLC to keep 5 players standing. Toinu unable to shoulder peek GodB, that's just wacky. Oh no, Devil, Existence, Alex, all doing their part in the round. tabseN on the flank, the only player to have an impact, as it will be a double kill for him.
Yep, the cavalry arrives just a bit too late there. Round number 28 now, 15-12, as LDLC have 3 chances now. When we saw LDLC versus Envious, LDLC actually gave up 2 or 3 match points. But that's a completely different game, with a completely different map versus a completely different team. And of course, the money situation was very different as well. Big, what's going to be in their arsenal here for the potential final round on Overpass? LDLC looking very strong on their CT side. It seems like finally they were able to have a stronghold towards the B site. Aggression from Existence meant that they had the 4-man rotation towards B. Having the extra player there made a massive difference.
It was definitely messy aggression, though. I don't think it was something that was thought out right from the start.
I don't think, obviously, if you're Big, you don't expect tabseN to be able to work himself into CT. Yeah. And the reason they went a little bit earlier is because they wanted to make sure tabseN could come in from behind. So as soon as they went for the push outside Monster, that takes all of the diversion, all of the attention away from the A bomb site where tabseN was towards B, and that allowed tabseN to come in from behind. The problem was everybody won the Angels on the side of LDLC, which meant that there was no team left to try and save when tabseN arrived.
The timings didn't sync up either, of course. They faced towards B before tabseN really got his chance to...
That's what I meant, that they did that on purpose, though.
Yeah.
They did it on purpose so that the LDLC won't be looking towards A.
Problematic either way due to those Angels, but that round is done. Round 13 in the second half is where we're going to be.
Yep.
LDLC just looking to close this one out. A very nice early molly and a frag grenade as well, stopping that Monster aggression.
This is the thing I mentioned before. Usually when you play versus Big, you want to save your utility because they play the slow defaults, but actually they've really been going heavy towards Monster, so very smart use of the early molly and HE grenade towards Monster. I definitely like that. Has a smoke as well, which he can deploy later on into the round once he expects the push to come in. Existence here, managed to catch tabseN off guard with a flashbang. That flash was actually thrown from GodB, I believe, as well, so potential team flash there.
That's a big early kill at the end of the day, though, for LDLC to find. Steps them off. Or starts them off, should we say. The right foot forward in the round. Legia trying to use that P250 to open up this B site at this point, but also acting as a bit of a probe, I think. There's GodB potential to catch off Legia on short. Has to peek on around. Alex going to lose his life. Keeve on towards Maniac. The molly going to begin to burn towards Heaven. Toinu. Oh, that frag grenade. Going to be painful. Quickly catapulting out the life of Keeve. Push now coming in, but the smoke's making things very ominous for LDLC. Legia and that pistol could suddenly be lethal. The range is perfect. The P250, the double kill as he connects the headshot on towards Toinu. Devil. Last man standing for CZ, hopping on around. GodB walking through the smoke, spots him out, but can't quite find the kill. Devil straight on the defuse, makes him, finds the spray. He's got time. LDLC done and dusted. 16-12. Map 1 concluding. Thankfully they closed it out when they did, but that got very close.
Yeah, the reason you have to close the game out right there and then is because if Big win that round and it goes 15-13, then suddenly Big have so much money. You're not playing versus a UMP and a CZ on a few other players on Big. You're playing versus the AWP on Keeve and a full set of utility and a full set of weaponry as well. So sometimes you really have to get the job done early.
Well, they certainly did, of course. Looking back at that whole game, there were definitely some key turning points. I mean, I want to throw right back to that very early force buy when the scoreline was 10-10.
It's not that early, but yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, I think in the context of when kind of the game really began to heat up, sure, it was very, very close at 10-10, but a lot of the rounds, in comparison to what we saw towards the latter stages, were much more quieter. But that force buy did change things. Three rounds over. And then from there, of course, that opened up the 14-10.
Yeah, I said as well in the cast, I was like, that might be the game-changing win, that force buy win. The fact that they used the smoke so efficiently towards the bomb site and the B site as well. They waited, well not waited, but the smokes acted as a vessel to allow the clock to go down to 40 seconds to 35 seconds. That final smoke towards A long from existence actually meant that there was only, basically, when you minus the time from the smokes, 15 to 20 seconds left to try to get the bomb down. So Big were in a panic as they ran through the smoke and they walked into the crossfires of 4 players from LDLC towards A. But anyway, so many strong players towards the B site from both teams. Obviously, crazy 2K there from Kyiv. If you're going to play that pillar position, obviously everybody knows the Guardian ace from that play, but you need to be a very fast AWPer, very good at hitting the fast flick shots because it's so easy to get mowed down and basically swarm towards that position of the map. But it's a very close game, and a very competitive one at that. Pistols went 1-for-1. First half scoreline being 8-7, and then obviously the force buy win from LDLC really being the game changer.
Definitely can look towards the key differentiating rounds. Of course, I want to talk about this A site a little bit purely because LDLC on their CT side did a pretty good job of isolating anyone coming in from the flank from either bank or dumpster concurrently while the pushers were coming in from the toilets. You always saw them split them off, so the fights were very much kind of 1-for-1 and timings were all off.
I actually feel like Big's play towards A was better.
Okay.
The reason being is Kyiv was a menace towards toilets. Also, Big had very good control of A long. But the biggest game changer for me on the CT side from Big was the fact that they had such good control of connector. And I feel like that's one of the things that really gets swept under the rug is teams not really taking control of connector at the right times. You saw one round, Godby would take control of connector, one round he wouldn't. And it seemed like he was always in the right place at the right time towards the A side and the CT side. The problem is LDLC found so much success towards the B side that, yeah, basically some of the rounds which they got on the A side, on the T side from LDLC were versus pistols and were versus ecos. But in terms of the gun rounds, I feel like Kyiv and Godby did very well towards A.
Talk about connector, of course. What goes hand in hand with that is a lot of the time short control. We saw that being found so often with the AWP. 4 rounds it was used to take the early peak.
Do you mean B short?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Fallen, definitely a player that likes to op Cold Zero as well from SK. Both those players, whereas the Spawn likes to go towards B short, but they play it differently. One of the setups I used to have when I played was the SK setup towards B short, where you'd have the AWPer play sandbags with the AWP, hold the B short angle, and have a player play towards the other side of sandbags as a bait, or really the AWP's the bait, but the AWP is baiting for another player there. So you kill one player, you fall back, and they try and chase you, but actually there's a player on the right side out of vision. But yeah, AWPing towards B short is definitely very strong. The reason being is a lot of the times players don't flash that angle, they just dry peek into it. I really like the use of the Molotov as well. They're using the AWP with the molly just so that you can't be run down in case they were going for fast B short presence. Okay, well, just to round up map 1, who would your MVP be? I mean, it's kind of hard for me to put my finger on one player individually. I do kind of like Nex. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out, but he did do a lot towards that B side on both halves. I'm trying to think. Who got the most impactful kills? Alex was good on the CT side. Existence was surprisingly good. Yeah, he's always a good fragger, to be honest. For me, probably Toinu. Yep. Definitely. T side especially was very strong. He's very good in the after plant positions when it's a 3 versus 3. Again with the multi-kills as well. Yeah, very good at getting the entry kill, especially in a map like Overpass as well. And on the CT side, he was getting so much information and playing very well. And also he had that nice clat towards connector. Oh, well, that confidence connector peak certainly was one way to close out the game as map 1 does conclude. We're going to be getting to map 2 relatively soon. That is going to be Cash. We talked a lot about Cash right at the start of tonight. We'll get into it a little bit more right after this break.